Hello, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. All right, guys, the fight is now official. Xander Zayas versus Boots Ennis in June. And first things first, before we even talk about styles, predictions, or what might happen in the fight, we have to give credit where credit is due. Xander Zayas has cojones, because in today's boxing world, where everybody protects the O, where promoters build fighters slowly, where everyone wants easy fights and safe opponents, this kid is stepping in the ring with what I believe is the most dangerous fighter around that weight class right now. Win, lose, or draw. This is what fighters are supposed to do. This is how fighters become real fighters. You don't become a great fighting nobodies. You become a great fighting monsters. But now the question everybody's asking, does Zayas actually have a chance against Boots Ennis? And the answer is yes. Everybody's got a chance, but only if he fights a perfect fight. Because if this turns into a speed fight, he loses. If this turns into an exchange fight, he loses. If this turns into a power fight, he probably gets knocked out. If this turns into an ego fight where both guys are trying to prove who's tougher, he's definitely going to lose. So Zayas cannot fight Boots the way Boots wants to fight. He has to fight his fight. This has to become a thinking fight, not a macho fight, not a cojones fight. The first thing Zayas has to do is to slow down the fight. Boots is very dangerous when the fight is fast, when there are exchanges, when opponents open up, when he can counter, when he can create angles. Zayas needs to jab, stab jab to the chest, stab jab to the body. All right? That's what he's got to do. The shoulders, touch, 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 clinch on the inside, reset the fight and slow the tempo down. Make this an ugly fight. Make the fight frustrating, make Boots uncomfortable. Because if Boots gets comfortable, it's going to be a very long night or very short night for Xander Zayas. The second thing Zayas must not do is to headhunt. This is very important. Boots has very good reflexes, very good upper body movement, and he has very dangerous counter uppercuts and counter hooks. If Zayas starts looking for the knockout and starts headhunting, he's going to walk into something big. Zayas needs to attack the body early and often. Stab jab to the chest, right hand to the body, hook to the liver, hit the arms, hit the shoulders, invest in the body early. You don't knock out a guy like Boots in the first 3 rounds, but you can slow him down by round 8, 9, or 10 if you invest in the body. The third thing is, and this might be the most important thing of all, is foot positioning. Boots loves angles. He loves rhythm changes. He loves to make you miss and make you pay. Zayas cannot stay in front of him. He has to jab and step to his left, punch and pivot, reset the center of the ring. Never stay in front after throwing combinations. Because if he stays in front of Boots, eventually Boots is going to land something big. And Boots is not the type of fighter that needs many clean shots to hurt you. The fourth thing is discipline. To beat Boots Ennis, Zayas needs 12 rounds of discipline. No ego, no trading, focus, not getting excited if he lands a good punch, not trying to prove he's stronger, not standing still after combination, no lazy jabs. He needs to fight like Bernard Hopkins, like Andre Ward, like Winky Wright, smart, technical, disciplined boxing. Now here's a real problem for Zayas. Boots can fight inside, outside, he can counter, he can lead, he has speed, he has power, he has angles, and he adjusts during fights. That's what makes him very dangerous. Zayas is a very good fighter, very talented, very composed, but Boots right now is a more complete fighter in my opinion. I'm sorry guys, I'm just telling you how it is. That's just the reality from a boxing standpoint, not from a fan standpoint. If I were Zayas' corner, the game plan would be very simple. Body, guys. Stab, jab the body, the chest continuously. Make his arms drop. Continue working on the body. First 4 rounds, jab to the chest, no exchanges, right hand to the body, move to the left, clinch inside. Round 5 through 8, double jab, hook to the body, jab upstairs, pivot after combinations, make boots reset. Round 9 through 12, increase volume combinations, punching, steal rounds, and do not get caught late. Zayas should not go into this fight trying to knock out Boots. He should go into this fight trying to win a decision, which is the only way I see a path to victory for Xander Zayas. Now, let's talk reality. Let me bring you back to earth. Boots Ennis has advantages in speed, explosiveness, counter-punching, power, angles, and unpredictability. Zayas has advantage in fundamentals, jab, body punching, composure, and he's mentally tough. Can Zayas win? Yes. Is he the favorite? No. Does he need a perfect fight? Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to say this very clearly. If Zayas boxes smart, slows the fight down, works the body, controls the distance, and stays disciplined, this could be a very competitive fight, and maybe he can pull it off. But if this fight turns into exchanges, if it turns into a firefight, if it turns into a macho fight, then I would still stand by what I said before. Boots by knockout somewhere around round 7 to 9. And before I finish this episode, I want to talk about something that always happens when we talk about fights like this one. All right? Especially when one of the fighters represents your country, your flag, your people, in this case, Puerto Rico. I've noticed something over the years doing boxing analysis. The moment you say something critical or analytical about a fighter that represents somebody's country, people stop listening to the analysis and start reacting emotionally. They get offended easily. They start lashing out. They start calling names, and they stop talking about boxing and start talking about the person. And that's how I know they lost the argument. Because when we talk boxing, we should talk styles, footwork, timing, ring IQ, defense, punch selection, conditioning, experience. That's boxing analysis. But when somebody can't defend their argument intellectually, they start getting personal. They start saying you're a hater, you don't know boxing, you're jealous, and all this nonsense. And I usually laugh when this happens because that's how I know I already won the argument. If you understand boxing, you can explain why a fighter wins or loses without getting emotional. Listen, guys, boxing is not about flags. Boxing is not about nationality. It's not about where you were born. It's about being inside the ring. Inside the ring, there is no passport. There is no flag. There is no anthem. Inside the ring, there's only skill, discipline, preparation, experience, and heart. And listen, my wife's Puerto Rican. My kids are Puerto Rican. I was raised in Puerto Rico. And I like the Puerto Rican fighters to succeed. But being a real boxing analyst means you tell the truth. Not what people want to hear. You analyze styles, not flags, because the moment you start analyzing boxing emotionally, like some of these other channels do, you stop being an analyst and you become a fanboy. There's a whole bunch of them out there. Whole bunch of fanboys from Puerto Rico, from Mexico, from all these other countries, from USA. Look at the WBC right now. The World Baseball Classic, how a lot of people here in the States don't want to know anything about a World Baseball Classic because USA got their ass whooped. And that's what happens when you get emotional. The moment you start analyzing boxing emotionally, you stop being an analyst. Like I said, you become a fanboy. Boxing history teaches us this very clearly. Styles make fights, not nationality, not hype, not Instagram followers. Styles makes fights, guys. Okay. Also tonight, I will be watching the fight between Fundora and Keith Thurman. I'm actually rooting for Thurman. It would be great to see another upset. Whoever wins that fight might very well become a future opponent for whoever wins between Zayas and Boots. So the division is about to get very interesting very soon, my friends. And that's what makes boxing great. The best should fight the best. And right now, Zayas is putting himself in that position. He's between a rock and a hard place, but sometimes that's exactly where fighters are made. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Who wins, Boots or Zayas, Fundora or Thurman? Leave your comments, but keep it boxing analysis, not fanboy talk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy real boxing analysis and not boxing gossip. This is Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario, and I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless you all, and peace.